Smiling. 12 years earlier, Manila, Philippines, the Santos family had fished the Manila Bay for 3 generations. Their small village, 30 families living in wooden houses on stilts over the water, had been there for over a century. Maya Santos was 16, the youngest of 4 children, brilliant in school despite helping her father with the boats every morning. She dreamed of becoming a marine biologist, of protecting the ocean that had fed her family for generations. Then Victoria Ashford arrived. Ashford Development Corporation had purchased the entire coastline. Victoria's plan was simple and ruthless: demolish the fishing village, build a luxury resort. The families would be relocated to government housing 30 miles inland, far from the sea that was their livelihood. Maya's father, Ricardo Santos, led the resistance. He organized meetings, filed legal challenges, rallied the community. For 6 months, they fought. Victoria Ashford attended exactly 1 community meeting. Maya remembered every word. "You people don't own this land," Victoria said, standing in her $3,000 suit. "You're squatters, trespassers. I'm offering you government housing. That's more than you deserve." Ricardo stood up, his weathered hands trembling with anger and desperation. "This is our home, our ancestors are buried here, the sea is our life, you can't just take it." Victoria's smile was colder than the air conditioning in her Bentley. "Watch me." She turned to leave. Ricardo grabbed her arm, not violently, just desperately, trying to make her understand. Victoria pulled away and called security, then she called the police. Then she called her lawyers. Within 24 hours, Ricardo Santos was arrested for assault. The charges were fabricated. Security footage mysteriously disappeared. Victoria's lawyers painted him as violent, dangerous, a threat to development and progress. Ricardo was sentenced to 5 years in prison. Without their leader, the village's resistance crumbled. 30 families were evicted. Their homes were demolished in a single afternoon. Bulldozers and wrecking balls destroying a century of history in 6 hours. Maya stood on the beach watching her childhood home collapse into splinters. Maya stood on the beach watching her childhood home collapse into splinters. Victoria Ashford didn't attend the demolition. She was in Paris, celebrating the groundbreaking of another project. The Santos family was moved to a concrete apartment complex 30 miles from the ocean. No fishing, no community, no way to make a living doing the only thing they'd ever known. Maya's mother died 2 years later. The doctors said heart attack, but Maya knew it was a broken heart. Her father was released after 3 years for good behavior, but he was different, hollow. The ocean had been taken from him, and with it, his purpose. Maya dropped out of school to support the family. Worked 3 jobs. Watched her father sit silently at the apartment window, staring in the direction of the ocean he couldn't see. He died when Maya was 23. The official cause was pneumonia. Maya knew it was grief. At his funeral, Maya made a promise over his grave: she would return to the sea. She would rebuild, and somehow, someway, Victoria Ashford would understand what it meant to lose everything. 12 years later, present day, Maya had kept her promise. She'd worked brutal hours, saved every rupee, bought a small fishing boat, old, barely seaworthy, but hers. She fished alone now. Her siblings had scattered, but Maya couldn't leave. The sea was in her blood. She'd also done something else. She'd studied Victoria Ashford obsessively, tracked her movements, her business deals, her yacht routes. Maya told herself it was just to understand the enemy, but deep down, she knew she was waiting for something. A chance, an opportunity for justice that would probably never come, until tonight. Maya had been fishing 50 miles offshore when she'd heard the distress signal. Brief, cut off abruptly. Then she'd seen the debris, the life raft. And then Victoria Ashford, clinging to a floating cushion, exhausted and terrified. For 10 seconds, Maya sat in her boat with her hand on the throttle, watching the woman who destroyed her family struggle to stay afloat. She could turn around, sail away, call it divine justice. Victoria would drown here, alone. 10 seconds of temptation, then Maya cut the engine and threw a rescue line. Victoria grabbed the rope with desperate hands, too exhausted to speak. Maya pulled her aboard, not gently, but efficiently. Victoria collapsed on the deck, coughing seawater, shivering despite the warm night air. "Thank God," Victoria gasped. "Thank God you found me. I'll pay you, whatever you want. $100,000, more, just get me to shore." Maya said nothing. She wrapped a blanket around Victoria and started the engine, heading not toward the mainland, but toward a small uninhabited island 20 miles east. "Where are we going?" Victoria asked. "The nearest port is west. Why are you?" She looked up at Maya's face for the first time, really looked. Recognition came slowly, then all at once. "You." "Me," Maya said quietly. Victoria's face went white. "Maya Santos. What are you doing? Where are you taking me?" "Somewhere safe. There's a storm coming. We won't make it to the mainland." It was a lie. There was no storm. The weather was perfect. But Victoria, disoriented and hypothermic, didn't question it. "Okay," Victoria said, pulling the blanket tighter. "Okay, thank you. I'll make sure you're compensated." Maya almost laughed. "Whatever I want, as if money could return the dead. The island was small, maybe 2 miles across, covered in palm trees and white sand. There was a freshwater spring and the ruins of an old fishing camp. Maya had used it before as a shelter during storms. The real estate mogul looked nothing like the powerful woman who destroyed the Santos village. Her designer clothes were ruined, her hair matted with salt, her makeup smeared. She looked small, vulnerable, human. "How long until we can leave?" Victoria asked, shivering despite the warm breeze. "A few days, maybe a week." "A week? The boat needs repairs, engine trouble, and the storm." "There's no storm," Victoria said, looking at the clear sky. "There's not a cloud anywhere." Maya met her eyes. "There's always a storm, you just don't see it coming until it hits." They stared at each other. Victoria was smart enough to realize she wasn't in control here. "What do you want?" Victoria asked quietly. "Nothing you can give me," Maya said. "My parents are dead, my home is demolished, my family is scattered." "There's no check you can write that fixes that. Then why did you save me?" "I'm still figuring that out." The first day was silent. Maya built a fire, caught fish, collected rainwater from palm leaves. Victoria sat on the beach, hugging her knees, watching the horizon for rescue boats that never came.